Good evening. I'm Mark Martin.
And I'm Wendy Griffith. Veterans Affairs Secretary Eric Shinseki is stepping down in the wake of a scandal over the agency's healthcare system.
While Shinseki resigned and apologized today for the mismanagement that cost some veterans their lives, as John Waggy explains, the problems go beyond the leadership of one man.
The retired four-star general's career in the cabinet ended after a 40-minute meeting with the president about the administration's latest scandal.
And a few minutes ago, Secretary Shinseki offered me his own resignation. With considerable regret, I accepted.
Shinseki heads an agency that provides medical care to more than 6 million veterans each year. But a blistering internal report this week revealed major and deadly mismanagement at the VA, especially at a center in Phoenix, shocking lawmakers in both parties.
This was not one rogue operation in Phoenix, but this was a systemic failure. And it's time for a change.
Meanwhile, a flood of stories from veterans who say the VA not only let them down, but in some cases left patients to die.
The PA that saw me in the women's clinic there told me that I should go home and die gracefully. And so I didn't take her at her suggestion.
Patty Phelps sought treatment outside the VA. She says that's why she's alive today. But the cost of that treatment for heart problems and diabetes after exposure to Agent Orange left her with nothing.
Because when I had to go outside the VA to get medical help, I lost everything. And I'm deep in debt. So, and people say, well, just be glad you're alive. At my age, it's a hard way to have to live.
Even with Shinseki's resignation, the scandal reflects badly on the White House. In the Wall Street Journal, former Reagan-Bush speechwriter Peggy Noonan writes, Mr. Obama has never seemed interested in the management of government. It is completely believable that he read about the VA scandal in the newspapers, where he has learned of other administration scandals. It is believable he had no idea what was going on in a major problem-plagued agency. The scandal also points up problems with the federal government's inability to fire bad employees. Only a fraction of 1% of federal employees are terminated for cause. That's a far smaller percentage than in the private sector. With federal salaries and benefits averaging more than $125,000, the mismanagement may well become a campaign issue this November.
If they would just do what they need to do and quit all the delays, you know what I'm saying, and get this thing going.
John Waggy, CBN News.
We turn now to Jordan Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice, and he joins us from our Washington bureau. Jordan, we heard the word accountability a lot with the VA scandal. Do you think Shinseki's resignation is an adequate example of accountability?
Remember, there was a meeting like this already before at the White House, and President Obama did not accept a resignation from the VA secretary. He did so today, really, I think, only because of political pressure. But I do agree with a lot of congressional Republicans who thought, you know, the idea that the calling for the resignation, yes, it's probably appropriate to resign, because if you're overseeing something and things have gone wrong, you are the ultimate one to take the blame and responsibility. But at the end of the day, how is this going to fix the problem?
Well, this hasn't been the only scandal where accountability has been demanded from the administration. Where else have we seen this?
We saw, again, the Secretary of the VA today resign. Kathleen Sebelius finally resigned after the botched Obamacare rollout, and things kind of got up to speed there. You could argue that point, but she then resigned. But think about people like Attorney General Holder, involved in Fast and Furious and held in contempt. He's still there. Think about Susan Rice, who during the Benghazi scandal, addressed the American people on every Sunday news talk show with talking points that weren't true. She didn't become the Secretary of State, but she's still the White House National Security Advisor. She was promoted closer to the president. And you look, of course, at the IRS targeting scandal. The idea that Americans were targeted because of their political beliefs, and this is a president who said there wasn't a smidgen of corruption, while the criminal investigation is currently and still ongoing.
Well, Jordan, has the Obama administration broken the trust of the American people?
You know, I think so, with the way that they handle each of these situations. So in Benghazi, instead of just eventually correcting and coming clean about how it got blamed on a video, because we still don't know where that originated. We see the White House emails from some of the staffers there in communications department, but we know the CIA didn't do it. So who did that? Who made that change? And if you just came clean about it, it would probably not be something we're as concerned about. You look at the IRS, come clean. Hold people accountable. No one got fired at the IRS. Some people retired. They still get their benefits. They still get their pension. Ultimately, again, if you look at Fast and Furious, you're standing by Attorney General Holder. He's been held in contempt of Congress, running a gun running program, again leading to dead Americans. This is an administration, I think, that has betrayed the trust over and over and over again. And it's up to the American people. There's midterm elections coming up. If they want to make a bit more of a change in Washington to empower the other party in the United States Senate to hold this administration more accountable. I think we're really still on, Mark, the tip of the iceberg of the Obama administration's just misstatements and the way that they have tried to fool the American people into thinking that they've got things under control when they don't.
Okay, Jordan Sekulow, thank you for your insights.
Thanks, Mark.